Taurus, welcome to your month in review for April. I know. What's up? What's going on? Show me Taurus in April. Show me Taurus in April. Show me Taurus in April. Like always, take what resonates, leave what does not. Yeah. Do keep in mind these are general collective readings, not one-to-one private, which is to say they may not resonate. Normal. Frustrating but normal. Check your other placements. You will find yourself in there somewhere. Show me Taurus in April. What's going on, please, for Taurus in April? Let's do one more. Okay. Okay, at the beginning of the month, 3 of Swords, 7 of Wands. You shall not pass. Heartbreak. You shall not affect me. You won't. You shan't. I won't let you. Okay. We'll get back to that. All right. King of Swords. King of Wands. Temperance. Okay. We're offering peaceful terms between yourself and someone else. Temperance, King of Wands, King of Swords. Someone's meeting it with a brave face. The other person's trying to show sincerity as well as passion. Peace seems to be on the line here with temperance. Some words were spoken. Anxiety, stresses, blockage. I will not allow this to affect me. You know, and that wasn't true, honey. Because it was, even if you were able to successfully block the pain, in other words, not allow yourself to feel it, it's admirable. I have no idea what that's like. I feel everything. The mental stress was, so whatever it is we affect in one area shows up in another. So you might have successfully blocked any sense of, ow, this hurts me, but it showed up mentally. In some way, we got to pay for it. It's our way of trying to reconcile ourselves to difficult thoughts and feelings. Okay. So just be careful with that blockage. I understand it. That's your protective nature, trying to protect yourself and your heart. But it was going to show up in some way. Stress. Okay. But I see you what looks like having peace talks with somebody. All right. Let's see a little bit further out. 5 of Cups, Queen of Swords, the Hermit. And there's the real healing. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. Whatever the peace talks are with this person, set that aside. What I'm seeing for you is the determination to kind of understand your 5 of Cups instead of just shoving it off. Okay. And the Hermit. And there we have real healing. Okay. And I trust the Hermit. He's my favorite card to represent, even over Temperance. Even over, because the Hermit, his healing experience is based on reality, insight, wisdom, and the ability to appropriately reflect and not involve our emotions so much to tell us how to heal. Okay, but it's based on real insight and reflection. Temperance can be beautiful, assuming we're willing to understand the difficult emotions. So I am seeing some lovely elements in you today and possibly with someone else. Okay, hopefully we can push past this owie, understand what it means, where it's coming from, and learn from it. More than that, let's see what this is about. I may not clarify all of these. Some of them will speak for themselves as we go along. But the very thing you're trying to show me the least is the first thing I'm curious about, because that's how it works. You can't fix what you don't address, right? So let's see that 3 of Swords. Show me that 3 of Swords. Show me that 3 of Swords. Show me that 3 of Swords. Okay. Let's do one more. Show me that 3 of Swords. Show me that 3 of Swords, please. It's interesting. Queen of Cups, the Hierophant, that's you, 3 of Swords. Okay. Okay. Wow, when you really don't want to feel something, you're like, I won't. You mark my words. Oh, they're marked, honey. I got it. Taurus, I'm looking at it. If you don't want to feel pain, you won't. And that's not a challenge, and that's not congratulations. I don't know why people congratulate themselves when saying, I don't feel anything. You'll pay for that later. The more pride you have about being able to shut off feelings, I promise you it comes back tenfold. You don't want to do that. Like I said, eventually the negative thoughts or feelings need to go somewhere. And for you, it shows up as mental conflict. Okay. It sucks. I don't know why you spend so much time denying the pain that's in your heart, because that's actually that your higher self is trying to authorize the pain so you can feel it. You know, beautiful heart space. Even you feel it as the Hierophant. You understand it to some extent. There you are. You were hurt deeply. hurt deeply. Right there in the old feels. Ouch. But then you also went like, no, I didn't. And you can't prove it. I don't want to prove it. I don't need to. It's there. You know. Let's say that Seven of Wands. That's a deep owie. Even you showed up over your heart. Stand by your heart, not the pride. Okay? That's your real self in there that would like to come out and say exactly what it experienced. You hurt me. That's the real you. But then you're like, Seven of Wands. Nuh-uh. 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 Oh, my Taurus. Oh, my Tauruses. What's that Seven of Wands? What's that Seven of Wands? That's because I know your process. I'm not giving you shit. I know your process. What's that Seven of Wands? Show me that Seven of Wands. Show me that Seven of Wands. The thing is about the higher self, guys, stepping into that's no easy thing. You really have to understand who you are in order to claim your higher self. And your higher self says it does not feel safe to express the pain in the heart. And I'd like to know where that comes from. So hence the Seven of Wands. Justice, Two of Cups, the Lovers. Ooh. How come you don't want them to know how much they affected you? Seriously. It affected you deeply. Why can't you say that? Why don't you feel you can say that? This is not a casual connection, Taurus. It's not, you know, Fred down the street pissed me off because he didn't return my lawnmower in the condition he received it. It's not. We're not talking about that. We're talking about a deep connection that hit you down to your soul. So why you spend so much time rejecting it, how it made you feel, how it impacted you. That which you need to speak to and emote the most is that which you express and emote the least. And again, that kind of thing comes back on people. I say it all the time. You pay the bill at the end of the day. And the more you deny your bill, the bigger it gets with interest. That includes your emotions. Your emotions are real and valid. They're signals. Okay? We're not meant to live in them all day, every day. No, that's not healthy either. But we do need to honor those signals or we will be led astray by our thoughts because we can't handle the anxiety of what we're trying to ignore. Or we screw up because we're so absent-minded and down on ourselves. We do something physically wrong and we hurt ourselves in reality. It manifests in different ways. That off moment where you weren't quite paying attention in traffic and then you get into an accident because you had that thing on your mind that you don't want to feel. See what I'm saying? It's stuff like that. You get in tune with it sooner, not later. And I'll promise you, it's 1,000 times easier. The pain you allow yourself to feel today is the pain that you don't have to feel 10 years from now. I promise. So I got a damn strong connection here. And as far as I can tell, it's mutual as fuck. There's a t-shirt. I'm going back to the drawing board on some of my t-shirts and I'm getting new ones. Hopefully I'll have a whole line out by May or around your birthday season. Now I was starting to think, is that one mutual as hell or mutual AF? I mean, that is mutual AF. But then you're like, no, it's not. Because if I admitted that it was mutual, it would hurt me, Christina. Again, how does that help you? Let it hurt you. It already did. You denying it doesn't make it any easier. It affected you deeply in your heart space. And I sympathize and I empathize. I do. I do. It was mutual, that same page. It's even Stevens right there. Lovers is 2, 2 of Cups, the equality of emotional same page energy. And it was justified in the spiritual realm as well. In other words, it felt correct. Top to bottom, up, down, left, right, point A to point B, you name it. It was across the board, fair, mutual exchange. In other words, it happened to you both. And you went, Because if you admitted that it was the same, you'd have to admit that it hurt you too. Am I right? To accept that this connection was fair and equal amidst two people, knowing what you know now about it would mean you have to allow the pain to come through. And accept that the rejection that you've been rejecting indeed feels like rejection because it hurts. You just end up rejecting yourself. So I'm saying I don't want you to have to pay any more interest, honey. Give yourself the space. Give yourself the space because it just shows up in other ways. And I don't want that with you every day in your head. That's what Nine of Swords is, guys. It's mental rumination about the same shit, different day. It's the needle stuck in the damn groove. It won't change tune. Okay? So again, what you don't pay for, you do in other ways, or you do down the road. I just don't want that for you. We'll get to all that. We'll get to the blah blah. We'll get to all that. I'm talking about working with you now in April. And why is it affecting you so much now? Why is it with you in your spirit so much now? Well, it's unresolved heart pain. Absolutely, 1,000%. And I think you've personally got so used to fending it off. And it's just, I think you're reaching a point where you can't keep fending it off anymore. I don't want you to. It hurts. It hurts, honey. It hurts. It hurts to deny it, and you're also saying, yeah, but it hurt to accept the truth of it. That's the one you want to go with, though. The one that you're trying to reject the most is what you need to do the opposite for and free yourself in some way. Let's see that Nine of Swords. I want to see what's on your mind. Show me that Nine of Swords, please. King of Pentacles, that's you. Eight of Wands. Oh, the World. You're anxious because you keep thinking about the loss of communication here. It's like you're saying you have no way to express yourself. And it's on your mind constantly. So there you are, authorizing this, or you're experiencing it. King of Pentacles, the practical 3D. Eight of Wands in terms of practical application, what to do. So I think I see where the blockage is coming from. Because from your point of view, because the communication has shut down, you have no way to offshore this anyway. Okay. I understand where that's coming from. It makes sense. But I'm going to back up and say that thing I always say to people that they absolutely hate, but it's because it's true. Everything begins with the self. I want you to come to terms with this first. I know what you're doing. You're saying, because I can't communicate with it, there's nothing I can do. I'm helpless with this miserable, useless feeling. And then also, P.S., if I just reject that it was equal and fair, I won't have to feel the pain. So you see how that's doubling back on you, right? Okay, and then you go full circle. That sense of helplessness, and there's nothing I can do. Everything begins with the self. I want you to acknowledge this for you first and foremost. Get in there, deep dive. I know we've said this before, honey. You've got to set the time aside for you. Allow yourself the mental clearance. Allow yourself to clear the landscape of the garbage and the nonsense and the fears and the stress and the anxiety. Cry, scream, I don't care. Get it out of you. Okay? Talk to who you need to talk to. Keep it to yourself. Scream at yourself. Taurus, this, that, and the other. I don't care. Get it out. Write it down. Write it down. Dear Taurus, page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4. Whatever it is you got to do. Get it out. Okay? Everything begins with the self. Because I'm convinced that mental anxiety comes from this sense of helplessness that even if you could talk to it, you couldn't. Talk with you first. Talk with you first. Okay? Talk with you first. I want you to talk with you first. And then we'll get back to this idea of communication. Okay? We'll get back to that. Let's jump on over here, because I am seeing what looks like peace talks between you and someone else. So that World then, I already know how it is in one position of having closed off. Which means in theory, it could be reopened. So that's what I'm saying. You have a talk with you first. Have as many as you want. Have as many as you want. Honestly, some of the best conversations I've had are with myself, real talk, in the mirror saying the most embarrassing shit that I can't tell anyone else. But I can tell it to me because guess what? I'm the one who needs to hear it first. And when you have those kind of conversations, and I mean real ones with yourself, everything else after that kind of feels fucking trivial. You haven't, don't knock it till you try it. Yeah, what? Don't knock it till you try it. If you can't be real with you, you can't be real with anyone else. And this is a lot of realness that I need you to get in touch with first and foremost before you start talking about someone else. Okay? All right, let's jump on over here to that King of Swords, please. Show me that King of Swords, show me that King of Swords, show me that King of Swords. I'm not interested in the who, he said, she, I could care less about that crap. I'm looking at the fallout of it today. I really don't care. I don't care. I'm concerned with the energetic stuckness that you're in. Okay, that lending to that sense of helplessness. And all I'm doing is advising you how to break through that. Okay, let's see that King of Swords. Three Cups, Ten of Swords, Ten of Cups. There it is again. There's a strong sense of I know. I know. If I could just reconnect with this, it would suck. Ten of Swords, it would be painful. But literally gritting teeth here. Maybe there's a shot in hell at harmonizing this, or what? What do I do? Let's see that King of Wands. What's up? Let's see that King of Wands. Show me that King of Wands. Show me that King of Wands, please. Show me that King of Wands. Show me that King of Wands, please. Five of Wands, Six of Cups, Ace of Wands. Well, their energy is a little cheeky, isn't it? I don't know why, but I like it. I do. I'm not going to lie. I'm not taking anybody's sides. I'm just saying I like it. It's very different from yours, which is deeply painful, ruminating, that kind of thing. You two are more alike than you are different. I'll say that. Yeah, I mean, this person is passionate. There's no two ways about it. You're showing me a strong mind, determination. They're showing me a sense of passion that says, yeah, I'll connect with you, but first we're going to fight. I don't know why that's making me laugh. Why is that making me laugh? I have no idea. Yours is so deep and serious, and emotional consequences and emotional responsibility, and that sense of I've spent a lot of time rejecting this, and now I'm trying to come to terms with it. And does that mean I have something left in me to do with this, or is it etc.? You've seen where this is going. Okay. And so I see you trying to connect with this emotionally, mentally, but wondering if there's a point, because the Ten of Swords and the Ten of Cups could easily and equally knock each other out. But it's like, I don't know if I can emotionally harmonize with this for the long term. And that's why it's so painful for me to try to connect with it, because a part of me still feels inclined to try. And even part of me intellectually knows that I could. But you feel so prohibited by the whole situation. And then I jump on over here to this person and like, oh yeah, that Six of Cups, you and me, soul bond. Oh, for sure. Ace of Wands, no problem. I can give that some renewed energy, but we're gonna have a little argument though. I don't know how else to put it. I don't know if this person's a fighter, other than the fact that they might have a lot of pride, or here's a particular point, or they're. It's like they're trying to go through an energetic conversion with you between the negativity, the blocks, the objections, the frustrations, the grievances, but still show hope for it simultaneously. It's kind of like they're saying, I want this connection to win, but in order for it to win, we got to talk about some stuff. Yeah, but I think they, if I'm not, they're a little passionate. And so when somebody's a little passionate like this, they kind of like a little argument. They like a little pushback. That's just who they are, apparently. You know, I don't think it's either right or wrong. If this is your person, you kind of know that. And perhaps you're smiling a little bit as I'm describing it because you're like, yeah, that sounds like them. Let's see it. Let's see that temperance because it is proposed there. That temperance. Show me that temperance, please. It's funny. You went from it's impossible, I can't even see how I talk to them again, to maybe something. But it's painful for you to try. And for them, they're like, oh no, I'm all for it, but we're going to hash a couple things out, though. I do see a conversion process in this person, negative to positive, because they want the connection to work between you two. They want the soul bond there. Okay. Yeah, temperance. Temperance. Show me temperance, please. I think they're a little fighter. Okay. All right, what's going on here? Show me that temperance, please. Seven of Cups, Three of Pentacles, the Hermit. There we go. See? You got it. You got this. You got this. You got this. Oh, you got this. There's your Hermit. You seem to trust the Hermit more than Temperance as well. So I agree. But there we have the reconciliation of difficult and possibly fragmented feelings. This is always a good thing in my book. Always, always, always. Yeah, because Seven of Cups is I'm a little here, I'm a little there, I'm a little bit everywhere. So it's emotional fragmentation, it's fantasy. It's a lot of people call it options in love, and it can be. That's not what I'm seeing here today. I'm seeing the consolidation of emotional fragmentation. Being confused by one's feelings, overwhelmed by them. Like I said, 10% anger, 20% this, 30% that. Okay. So we want to get on the same emotional page within ourselves, and then guess what? It spills over into 3D, the reality. So there's the actual manifestation of positive effort. And it's not crazy. It's nothing overboard that we can't do in reality. I mean, if a Taurus can't handle a Three of Pentacles, we all got problems, okay? So if you have some Virgo in your chart, I want you to use it. Trust that experience of knowing what it's like to actively construct something. In other words, get along. Right? Get along. And brick by brick, you will see how to cooperate with this person because you're not going into that empty-handed. You know stuff about them. They know stuff about you. So there is basic cooperative efforts here. Friendship, let's get along. Let's start with the basics. Square one, whatever that is. Let's not take each other for granted. I want to get to know you again and you, etc. This is what I've learned, so on and so forth. And that's all here with temperance and the reconciliation of difficult feelings, putting them together cup by cup. But yeah, no, there is a cooperative effort that is showing up in 3D. Absolutely. If we do what this person suggests and kind of hash it out. You know, well, I felt this and you felt that and da-da-da, and finding common ground again. Okay, so, okay. See, it's not such the impossible task. But before any of this, in April, which is looking successful, okay, and if you measure success by cooperation, okay, and stuff that you can tangibly wrap your mind around in terms of time, energy, and effort, first, though, everything begins with you. The more you stop rejecting this pain and you get in tune with it, how it affected you, how you two, again, were more alike than you were different, and how this was, it looks like, very much an equal exchange. And we don't deny it. We let those walls come down. We get in touch with how this affected us. And then that cycle of communication stops feeling so impossible. But you have to understand about the world, guys. Does it represent closing off? Yes. It also represents opening up. And depending if it's a positive cycle, it can be renewed. And if it's a negative one, it can still be renewed. We all have choices to make. But so long as I see two people positively trying and I'm seeing positive results, I'm personally going to encourage it. And I will see it as a positive renewal with fresh insight on both sides. Okay. That's it, really. I mean, there's a lot of practical elements in here. But what hits you the hardest is that opening. You get past that, the 3D starts to make more sense to you. Because cooperation is happening. Healing is happening. Okay. And I know you were King of Swords here with a shaky 3 cups. I don't know if I can bring this together, man. I don't know if I... And they're like, oh, no. No, I'm down for that. But there's that right there. I said this person's a little fighter. It's making me laugh a little bit. It is. They are passionate. They are a passionate person, but they are also equally passionate for this connection because it represents soul bond. At least it does through their spiritual energy, which is technically, another version of this. It's just amplified. There you go. But the idea is, let's get reacquainted. Okay. That's there. And I think that is the correct approach for what I'm seeing here today. Okay. Now, a little further out in April, your Hermit's still there, so that's good news. Let's see that 5 of Cups. Show me that 5 of Cups. Show me that 5 of Cups. What went down, honey? I don't know. And like I said, I don't care. I'm not doing past today. I'm jumping into April from where you are in your starting position. And I literally see you covering up the wounds over your heart like, it didn't hurt me. It didn't hurt me. It didn't hurt me. Your Hierophant's working very hard to deny what's in your heart. I don't know why your heart's so strong. Your most authentic self. And cover it up like, don't see me, don't see my heart. Don't do it, don't do it. That's where I start, honey. I mean, how else would I encourage you to open up towards this? Unless I thought you had real strength of conviction in there, you do. And it's like it scared you how strong it is that you have to reject it that much. That's me. Actually, that's not me. That's my interpretation of you based on what I've seen here today. That's it. Let's see that 5 of Cups, please. Three of Wands, 9 of Swords, the Magician. There's that anxiety again. Okay. You're telling me roughly translated here. I'm going to give this time. And as you continue to engage with it, you're saying it's starting to ease some of the stress, particularly as you understand your sadness. Good. What do we talk about? If you don't allow yourself to feel the sadness and pain, your mind's going to try to take it over, and so it did. Okay. Trying to talk yourself out of the pain, it didn't happen, or I didn't feel it that way, etc. We've been through all that. Now that you are giving this more time to interact with it, engage in it, contemplate on it, think on it, rest on it, you're showing me that you are now opening up to what you've been denying this whole time, and that is the hurt and the disappointment. The 5 of Cups that should have been there from the very beginning is now showing up for you when you interact with this, which makes sense. In other words, you're showing me the healing's really started. But you're also saying, take time with it. Don't rush it. Understand your thoughts, understand your feelings. I agree with this. But that you're still willing to try and open up towards it. Okay? All right. It's like you're saying, this hurts, but I want to be here so I can understand. Okay? All right. Good job. Let's see that Queen of Swords. Let's see that Queen of Swords. Show me that Queen of Swords, please. Show me that Queen of Swords. Let's see that Queen of Swords, please. How this thing get kicked off, I don't know, except that cycle about whether to accept the ending of that communication or reopen it is attached to you. So that's the hinge point, I believe, between what you've been experiencing to bringing this home into the 3D. Okay? Let's do that again. Let's see that Queen of Swords. King of Swords, 6 of Pentacles, Queen of Swords. Okay, I got 2 folks here. 2 folks here. This is actually kind of sweet. It is. The emotions aside, okay? I have 2 prominent figures here who are equally determined, I dare say stubborn, to 6 of Pentacles this. You're showing me a strong resolve, so are they. All right, well, we can bounce the shit out of this. That's fine. I don't know why, but I like that. Oh yeah. Well, I'll see your balance with my balance. That's two strong-headed people you are. But yeah, you're both sharing equally the Six of Pentacles here. It's that determination to meet each other where the other person is. That's it. Okay? And it's fair, and it's extremely fair. So now you're reflecting onto me, or back to me, the connection here and how you both felt it, even if you were rejecting it. That sense of it's equally divided is showing up in the 3D as we're both determined to balance this. Okay, so it is a shared experience. All right? Coming across as practical, not taking the energies for granted, that kind of thing. I put down a brick, you put down a brick, so on and so forth. All right, let's see that Hermit. Show me the Hermit, show me the Hermit, show me the Hermit, show me the Hermit. Judgment, Ten of Cups. Oh, King of Wands. Oh, you feel so much better. Yeah, you see, I know, I saw that stress over here. They pretty much are trying to knock each other out right there. This ability to emotionally harmonize, but specifically to pull this connection into our emotional circle. That way we can see it there for us later on. Okay? We don't know. So when these knock each other out, what's left is, like I said, a King of Swords that's a little shaky about that Three of Cups. Can we reconnect this from a good place? Okay? And now that Ten of Cups is showing up for you in the future, and that shifting energy is quite strong. Their perception is yes, and that's a judgment. It's a decision. Your Hermit there is connecting to that same space. So, I mean, again, the equal division here is quite high. So the idea here is judgment. I see two people choosing with respect to see each other in their emotional lives in some way, however that takes shape. Okay, again, the Ten of Cups is encompassing. It's like the Ten of Pentacles, but it's emotional stakeholders only. The people who have or bear some sort of emotional importance in our life. Okay, some of them are more easily identified than others. We would call them family members. We would call them very close friends. But the idea is that when I look at the people who surround me, knowing that that person's there in my emotional circle means a lot to me. And so I'm seeing that being chosen for both people, okay, to find a way to take part in each other's emotional circles, whatever that is to you two. You two are still trying to figure that out. But a big part of it is being resolved right here. That determination, okay, between two, strong-headed people. It's so weird. It's like you're both saying, well, I'm determined to bounce the shit out of this. Well, so am I. How do you like that? I like it just fine. So I don't know, guys, if it will ever get into that state of lovership and the experience of the emotional union, that kind of thing. It looks like by at least one person, they were so busy kind of rejecting their role in it that we couldn't experience it fully. And there's still no guarantee of that. What I'm seeing now is what we call peace talks or peace terms, with the hope that maybe it can balance into something greater further out. And I'm not looking past April today. Okay? It is lovely. It is beautiful. Can't say that it's not. It is. I like a determination between these two people. And the point here, the determined point, is, I think, to meet each other where the other person is. Not where we think they should be, or where we think we should be, or where the fantasy is, but in reality, what's actually there. Okay? And I think that's enough compared to your opening, where you were coming from. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of no wonder why you're showing me Three of Wands, Nine of Swords, the Magician, and Five of Cups, Now that we're not so mentally trapped up in our heads, we're in a better position to feel our feelings and then kind of take our manifestation from there about what's next. Okay. All right. The feminine, growth. Some of you are the divine feminine, or you're connecting to one, or at least in the estimation, somebody is. There's a lot of growth for here since either last summer or this upcoming summer. Okay. I don't know. Somebody else got the summer card as well. It was one of the fire signs. Don't remember who. That distinct impression for that collective was that last summer was terribly impactful. This one for you, however, I'm thinking this upcoming summer. There's going to be a lot of growth here. And using that sense of intuition, regardless if you identify as being the feminine or no. Okay. Dreams, messages. Oh, sure, absolutely. Kind of thing like this, lovers, guys, Six of Cups. Absolutely, we are connecting in the dreamscape, as I would call it. The illusions, confusion, Neptune. Okay, some of you Taurus is your Neptune placement, but taking off the rose-colored glasses, trying to see this for what it is. Celebration, gifts, abundance. There you go. And being open to receive. Finding reasons to celebrate, connect, exchange gifts. And just being open to receive. Okay. Those kind of go in line up here. Okay. Oh, what are you doing? Okay. These all came out in reverse. False persons in reverse. It was not a false person. Not a false person. Sudden wealth in reverse. And the dog in reverse. It wasn't a false person. There was nothing spontaneous about this connection. The loyalty is in reverse. Not spontaneous. They didn't... Whoever here that perhaps we suspected was a false person. Turns out, no, that's not the case. It wasn't spontaneous either. Sudden wealth was in... This wasn't random chance, in other words. No falseness, not random chance. But also, at the same time, understanding they can't be loyal to this. They could not be loyal to this. Someone here could not be loyal to this, or they couldn't afford to. That doesn't mean that they were a false person. They're also saying they didn't have reason to stay, or they weren't supposed to. It's very specific. Fuck off. I'm reading the numbers upside down. 8, 11, 81. It's a mirror image. I had to talk about this with somebody the other day. Mirrors reflecting on themselves. Yeah, I know. I saw the duality right away at your opening. It was even being reflected into the 3D as you two get reacquainted and you see each other's determination to balance things in a fair way that makes sense to you both in the real world, and perhaps not immediately bank on an emotional or complicated connection. Let's just keep it on a fair plane of existence where we both can see it. But that... You see how funny that is? See if I can hold these in a way that you can see it on the camera. So I talked to this about somebody, a group. I don't remember who the other day. I honestly don't remember. But as you can see, the numbers there at the bottom. 8118 with a remainder of 1. One person here. You're both reflecting on each other, the duality. Okay, the high levels of connectivity, the soul bond activity, etc. If you believe on that, you don't have to. There was no falseness in that person. They might be quiet, they might be mysterious, but that doesn't mean they're false. And it wasn't a spontaneous thing. It wasn't random chance to connect with this person. But also, at the same time, they didn't owe any loyalty. But there was a sense of loyalty there. You both feel a sense of loyalty to this, even though technically neither one of you owes each other anything. It's hard to explain. So I guess if you're connecting this, it's because you damn well both want to and insist upon it because it feels right to you both. You're reflecting on each other, absolutely. It's quite wild. People pay good money for shit like that, you guys. So that was wild. Oh no, I can't go over 40, but Taurus, this was, wow, that ending, eh? Oh, wow, that ending. That was wild. I hope this helped you. Put it in the comments. Take care. Be well.